CAPITALK 100.4 FM with CEE Dre and Joe for all your latest motoring news and upcoming trends.
It is 5 minutes after 1 right here on CAPITALK 100.4 FM. Welcome to DRIVEtorque. This is your premier car radio show right here on CAPITALK 100.4 FM. We do this each and every Thursday from 1:05 to 25 minutes to 2. And as usual, I've got the loving trio for cars.
Well, my name is Cynthia. You can call me C.
And I'm Dre driving in.
All right, so today on the show we have got great conversations about cars, as usual, ranging from an update on the Car of the Year 2019 competition, which is still on, and we're counting down to the finale. We'll also get a few tips from our car chick. Car chick.
Is that my name now?
To discuss and also discuss a hot topic on the ban of grey imports. Should the country ban grey imports? We'll be talking about that in the show today. Is it killing our local industry importing second-hand cars? What measures do you think the government should take in order to at least get the local market and brands flourishing again? That should be our lead conversation on this show this week, and as we are not reviewing any car this week, it's okay. We can still walk, right?
Yeah.
All right. I blame it on the corona, really. It's like COVID-19 is just overtaking everything. All right. So, what? I mean, COVID-19. Nothing else. What could it be? See, COVID-19. That's the reason we don't have a car, right?
Yeah, that's the reason. Yeah.
All right. So at the end of the show, Dre will attempt to give us a car joke of the week.
That should be interesting.
You know, there is one thing that my two partners in crime know about. It is cars, certainly not jokes. So if you're one of those unlucky people to be driving with Dre or with C, the car will the drive will most will be silent or with music, boring music in the form of Dre.
There's a reason we're not comedians.
All right, so yeah, let's talk about the Car of the Year with Dre straight after this.
This is Car of the Year.
All right, Dre.
14 cars are taking part. There's the Renault Duster, Hyundai Tucson, one with Tucson.
Yeah, Tucson sounds very English. Tucson is like, the C, we cannot forget it.
Tucson.
Haval H2 or Haval H2, Jeep Grand Cherokee, Mercedes-Benz Jolly Coupe, Mitsubishi Pajero Sport, Mitsubishi Triton, Ford Ranger, Isuzu D-Max, one with the Isuzu. I see.
In fact, the makers of the car say Isuzu.
Oh, they say Isuzu.
Yeah, it's Isuzu.
Oh, okay.
Isuzu.
We Africans like the I.
I just say we not would include.
Don't include us. Yeah.
Toyota Hilux, Jaguar F-Pace, Toyota RAV4, VW Amarok, and the Land Rover Discovery. That's 14. Isuzu is still leading with 56% of the voters going for the Isuzu D-Max.
I think a lot of people are thinking the Car of the Year is naturally going to be the car that they are driving. You have to vote for it.
You have to.
Right?
Yeah.
You have to go out there and click on the car that you think, this is my Car of the Year.
And
I'm actually quite shocked by the performance of the Hilux or the Mercedes, because we know people like the Hilux. When you look at the sales that it gets, maybe the people who drive Hilux are not online. That's my only conclusion. Madara.
Yeah,
the Facebook.
Is the same thing with Isuzu?
I think it's both. We've got people who naturally think, okay, it's not their competition. Or secondly, it's the fact that people actually do love the Isuzu, which is leading right now.
Yeah.
That's not taking anything away from that. It is
a great car.
It is a great car. Everybody just says, Isuzu, you never go wrong. But anyway, not that we want it to win. If you want yours to win, go out there and vote for it. Yeah. What are we trying to achieve with the Car of the Year project, Dre?
Car of the Year. Look, the winner of the Car of the Year is going to get the bragging rights. It's a marketing tool for the dealers.
Yeah. And I think it also just increases the sales for anybody who's going to win it, and love for our car market as well. And you get that education or information if you really
And
want
it
to buy a
means-
car.
It really means that look, the public, the voters, online voters have endorsed you. It means that also the journalists out there, the motoring journalists have also endorsed your product. Yeah.
So-
which is why you find which is also and last about 2 weeks ago or so, the journalists went driving the Isuzu.
Yeah.
And I think in a few weeks' time they should be driving from the Crocus stable.
Yeah.
And then after that, maybe they will drive from the Smoko stable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How's your car doing, see? I don't want you to I don't want you to tell us your car, but
I think I will start campaigning aggressively and get more people to vote, because come on now.
What could be the reason, without mentioning the name? What could be the reason your car is not?
Okay, I'll talk about why Ferrari doesn't advertise on radio.
Okay.
Sell themselves.
All right. No, that's fine. I think the car that I voted for is doing quite well. Yeah, I would really love to see more people come through, because I know. But I think the biggest thing is people, before they vote, they're basically thinking, is this the car that I would basically buy if I've got a bit of money with me?
Yeah.
Could I go and buy this car? Will it last me longer? Will it be cheap to run, and etc. etc. That could be the reason why we just have
why you find that on why you find that on Facebook.
Yeah.
The comments that are coming on Facebook, people are saying, you know what, why didn't you guys include the Honda Fit?
That's the car that everybody would.
Yeah, that's the Zimbabwean car.
I know. All right, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, is the car tip of the week with C. Do stay tuned. It is Drive Talk right here on CAPITALK 100.4 FM, and we are also broadcasting live on Facebook. And we've got a discussion coming through. Should the government ban grey imports of cars? Would love to hear your take on that. Let us know. You can also contribute on 0719 100 404.
Catch Drive Talk every Thursday between 1 and 1:30 p.m. on CAPITALK 100.4 FM with C, Dre and Joe for all your latest motoring news and upcoming trends.
Car tip of the week.
So our car tip of the week is in relation to the changing times, the times we're living in. The advent of the coronavirus, COVID-19. I thought it would be prudent that we talk about this and encourage everyone to have, some hand sanitizer in your vehicle, and those wipes. Always have those in your vehicle. Even makombi, batama seats, vachita say, try and have those and have people sanitize their hands every time they're getting in and out of your car. So that's our car tip of the week.
Oh wow, I love that, because
hand sanitizer.
Hand sanitizer.
Good question.
Wanika kana usuru kuiwanaga pamwe chingotenga Dettol or something and mix it in a bottle. You can make your own.
You can make your own.
Yeah.
But it's important to understand Panama regulations akatwiswa ne World Health Organization to say this is how you make your own hand sanitizer.
Yes.
Usazongopuwa tuma forwards tukuya pa WhatsApp chetu. All right, so we're going to get into our car review of the week, and we have a discussion going through, should the government ban grey imports? Dre, what do you think?
What I think? Look, it's a very sensitive subject, directly affecting the livelihoods of Zimbabweans. Should the government ban? I would say not now. Instead, I think what I would advocate for, which is probably rather radical, is the government should actually come up with efforts to create industry along the imported grey cars. My industry, I know support my Honda Fit, you know, we create my industry, must pay parts in my Honda feed. That will create employment instead of banning because zakatowandisa muno mota idzodzo and zicharamba dzichiuya because look the cheapest car is probably what the cheapest new car is probably what
25
Yeah.
20, yeah.
is
About
the
20
cherry still on the road?
a
what?
Chevy.
The cherry, you know, I don't know question.
Oh no,
Still on
I
the
don't
road.
see it anymore.
Yeah, so that was about 10,000 maybe a few years ago.
Datsun
Yeah.
Go was around the same price.
Yeah. So yeah, the Datsun Go is probably the cheapest. Maybe, I don't know how much it is. Maybe 10. So I don't know. But who can afford a $10,000 car right now?
Very
Not many
entry
people.
level.
Entry level.
It is.
Because what happens is $10,000 car doesn't go with maybe 5,000 or 8,000. You can import C-Class.
Yeah. Or even less if you're bringing it from
C-Class here in
The
India
UK.
can nase
Yeah, exactly.
the fake one.
You see? So you've jumped the ladder already.
but I think we've sort of jumped the gun a little bit. What's the argument for government banning
Jumba Magan.
the grey imports? Because you know, the grey import industry from research I just did accounts for about $60 billion. You know, and when we look at Zimbabwe, like from our market, you know, how many companies are failing to sell cars because of the grey markets, you know, the grey imports. If there was financing from the banks and everything was perfect, everyone should still be able to, you know, buy their own brand new car. Everyone should, you know, in a perfect world, everyone should be able to. If you're working, you should be able to get financing, at least a car, at least, you know. Our situation is very abnormal, so to speak. But those who have banned cars, like if you look at Japan, history of why they export so many cars is because they have strict regulations for cars that should be on the road from an environmental perspective, my emissions, carbon dioxide emissions and all that. So that's why you find people buy new cars and then maybe 2 years down the line they get rid of it, get a new, because I pass a inspection and then what happens? Those cars then come to third world countries, you know. So if they're not good enough for Japan, why are they good enough for us?
And I agree, because when it comes to the issue of understanding why they're coming from Japan, China, and coming to Zimbabwe, you realize there is more that's beneath just you getting a car and being able to be mobile. Issue iripo ndeyekuti they also just in terms of going green, we're talking about our countries being cognizant of the fact that we need to preserve our nature and stuff, you know, the environment yedu. Ivo vari kutodzirasirira achiti aiwa ya too old ya kuburitsa exhaust fumes akawandisa, and yet we're bringing them here and we're further hurting ourselves health wise. And I also just feel like it just hurts the whole manufacturing process in Zimbabwe. Vanhu vari kuchema kuti hapana mabasa nditi mageto youths arimo mumastreets makatogara izvezvi vari kushaya kuti voendeipi woita sei. They could be learning a skill in the assembly line, they could be learning a skill in whatever manufacturing, and it goes a long way into introducing or creating tumwe smaller. And by now most probably tingadaita kuti tine kamota kedu or one or two people that have created a car from Zimbabwe by Zimbabweans.
No,
That's what I think.
Yeah, okay. No, I think, you know what, setting up a new vehicle factory is quite expensive, and the market is too small for that to sort of justify that investment. So hence by saying, you know what,
But if you go back
let me finish.
if you go back to the early 80s, Willowville used to assemble Macresida. There was a lot of that was my Camrys. I assembled per Willowville.
Yeah.
But I guess it's only in Zimbabwean market where the region
Export.
Yeah.
But so I mean, right now, you know what, the Honda Fit is dominating is there. Why don't we create employment? To vura factory ano gadzira ma fan build ma Honda Fit, ma factory ano gadzira ma seats ma Honda Fit, you know, things like that.
The Chinese or the Japanese will not allow you to do that because they actually know it's cheaper to have it made there. We start
these things are being made
Chochita
coming
is
from Nigeria. These things, I'm telling you.
But there are actually countries in Africa that have banned the importation of grey vehicles. Egypt, South Africa, Sudan, and Morocco imposed a total ban.
Why do you think it's like that?
They're protecting their own industry. They're protecting their own industry.
But also the government is the government is protecting their own industry.
Yeah.
And they're investing in that same industry. But we got bigger fish to fry than the motor.
But industrialization is not part of our fish to fry, though.
Yeah, industrialization is like the biggest thing that we all should be talking about.
Yeah, but look at it this way. For the government to ban second-hand vehicles, they're caught in a catch-22 situation. Because they need the revenue as well.
From Zimra.
It's quick revenue.
Yeah, all right. This is what I think. Quick revenue, tonza nditika depamba sina kuti imwe yacho inozorowa neboys pakati apa nditika revenue iya and hapasina anything to talk about it, tacollecta revenue. Ndiri kuti nini revenue ngaicollectwe, yacollectwa, we pass it into having this setup here, to reviving our manufacturing industry. There must be a reason why we're collecting revenue. And for importation of cars, ngatichichanela into one or two other projects dzinoita kuti manufacturing industry ikure. But if it's lost along the way, then apana chatinoona. Exactly, it's like collecting tax, road tax, we
are importing probably maybe about 70,000 cars per year, maybe. That's about maybe $1 billion or so.
And dzimwe dzinenge dzatsingazivi dzapinda
dzinopinda dzisingabhadhari.
So setting up industry motor, if it's for the dealerships, I understand it's easier for them to just get a few cars from South Africa.
Yeah.
I was actually reading a dissertation in preparation for this show, done by I forget his name, Guvamombe, Aaron or something, Guvamombe. And he did a research based on Pusey and Payne and how it was affected by grey imports and how it affected their own business model from growing and improving. And, if we ban, or at least if we put some sort of limit on the age, motikari is not gonna kupinda, it will also get rid of some of these cars are not roadworthy. They really shouldn't be on the road.
Tell that to the owner of that car.
But it's also
no offense to Mercedes-Benz, but I'm just saying reports are fake.
It's also a risk to other road users as well, because Makombe atrukuona mapoto aya, they really shouldn't be on the roads. But if there's a ban, could maybe cars that you can import are only 3 years old, cars from 2017 and onwards, those are the cars you can bring in. Then it reduces $300-200.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, let's invite our listeners to tell us what they think about banning of grey imports, and you can give us a shout on 0719 100 404. We'd really love to hear from you. What do you think? Grey imports. Somebody who's got a grey import right now would say, why should we do that? Because Nduguto driver yo. But someone who hasn't bought one will also say, why should you not? But someone who's really concerned about the industry, who was a mechanic somewhere, or who was a producer, or was working on the line, would say, because of these grey imports. So there are mixed feelings all over. But I would like to hear from you. Please send us a message on 0719 100 404 and let's talk about it. Should the country ban grey imports? And my grey imports, China, Japan. It's not the color of the car. We're not talking about the color of the car. Dre. We're talking about the car of China and Japan. Not color yacho. They can ban the grey ones, but we like the white ones. 24
qualified to be joke for you.
Catch Drive Talk every Thursday between 1 and 1:30 p.m. on CAPITALK 100.4 FM with CEE Dre and Joe for all your latest motoring news and upcoming trends.
Car Review of the Week.
So So we are still back on Drive Talk. It is 25 minutes after 1 on CAPITALK 100.4 FM. Let's go to our WhatsApp lines. Anonymous says, in Zimbabwe, we don't do business. Our pricing is too exorbitant. Our minds are full of profiteering. It's better to buy used cars from Japan. At least I had a chance to drive my own car.
I agree with him.
I don't agree. You shouldn't be driving. You can't afford it.
But didn't you know from Batizigam?
Public transport system, guy.
But there's no public transport. Is it?
If you go to first world countries, if you go to America, you go to Canada, Australia, they have efficient public transport systems. Is for us because we don't have efficient public transport systems.
Yeah.
We need to get out of that mindset. Like it's a sign of wealth. The real sign of wealth here is an efficient public transport system. That's what's required.
But I think, like I said, you know what, for the government, it's a catch-22 scenario. Because Kubana, one, they want the income. Two, they don't, Kubana, and they don't even have the industry to
it has to start from somewhere. Like, it has to start from somewhere.
Do you then ban without the industry? Or do you say, you know what, let's first of all have the industry and then we ban, you know. But in the meantime, the government wants the revenue.
Saka, we can continue with 2 million cars on Harare's roads, you know, to my Corolla 22 to 1985, to Chungo Famba, you know, 500,000 of those. Really?
You know what that would actually do to Banazo? What that would actually do to the taxis there. Well, I can't use the name. The taxis, you know, the new concept, Irwema taxi. That would actually worsen the transport.
You mean the e-hailing taxi service?
Yes.
Okay. Like our Uber and...
Uber-like.
Uber-like.
Yeah.
We all love Uber. That's why we used him. I mean, but we know the one that we're doing.
So you see now. So it's a catch-22 situation.
I think it would force them to buy newer models. It would force maybe the government or the authorities responsible to actually invest. I think we've seen a number of buses come onto the roads. The Zupcos has been resuscitated. It's a starting point, but the government has to do more and get their revenue from there. Ngavachichinja revenue yekuzimira yetu motkari tukupinda and get their revenue from the efficient transport system.
All right. Anonymous comes on the line and says, Hatina standards. Almost ready to stand. Hatina standards. Chero Zvaita is our modus operandi.
And it's true.
It's true.
Ngoma
That's Zimbabwe.
Ndikoko takutokwenda.
Kana tukufamba tiri mushikashika uya takamanikidzira tiri for ndo standard yedu iyoyo. But that's not how it's supposed to be.
That's our standard public transport.
Exactly. You should have your own seat belt. Wakagara mumota mukombi, you know. Kwete zvezva tinoita zvezve. You know, we need to have standards.
All right, we are still asking the question, should we ban our grey imports from Japan, from China, from all over Singapore, even from the ones that UK. Should we ban them and resuscitate our manufacturing industry here in Zimbabwe? Let us know on 0719 100 404. We're also live on Facebook. You can vote there. We've just created a poll. You wanted to say something?
And there are plenty of them from the UK, you know.
They're cheaper actually.
You know, without these cheaper cars, parents would be driving, guys.
And did it?
Yeah.
All right, we're going to get into our weekly spin for the week. Let's see what's happening down there.
The weekly spin teaser.
So, a weekly spin of the week, we are looking at you, Joe. That's exciting.
Joe is our celebrity.
You're a celebrity of the week.
Not celebrating anyway. I'm not celebrated anyway.
So anyway, we get straight into it. Joe, tell us, what do you like and why do you like cars?
I think my fondness for cars stems from the fact that we grew up without one.
All right.
So, you know, you when you grow up and you're seeing cars on the road or next door, you be like, Saka, you know what's happening here? You know, coming from the ghetto, Darana 5, you know, he is so fond of education more than anything else. Saka, maybe Motkari don't go going, I think this is a luxury. Or at least I thought. Yes, because if you grew up with that one, you're looking for the cheapest one just so you have a car.
Reality check.
Exactly. But later on, akazotenga like a classic car, Daihatsu 1000 Compagno. Had to read about it. I loved it. I still love the car. It's still parked there. It's old, rusted, and what. I still have dreams of reviving it and just driving up to his farm in Kutu there and say, look, this is your first and last car.
Oh,
do you understand? So that's why I love cars. I've always been fascinated with speed, though I don't speed. I don't know why. I think there's...
They're not like C.
She's got a heavy foot. The moment she's on that, she drives, it's like, oh, you're like, okay, where's my seat belt up in here?
She's a speed demon.
Exactly. But
but what's your ultimate car?
Sure. I love classic cars. I'm going to always just get something very, very classic. It doesn't matter what it is. It has to be a classic, within the range of a classic.
So like what age year are we talking about here?
Then the early 60s.
Early 60s.
Yeah, I would love something like that. I could watch any documentary, or I could drive any car that is classic. And when I see them down the street, going vroom, and it's nice and it's good looking, whatever, it's a Mercedes-Benz, it's a Chevrolet, it's an Audi, I'm like, wow. And the thing is, sometimes the person goes just too quick around the corner. You want to really just wave at him and say, look, wait, what's your car? I'm so interested in this, I love this, etc., etc. But anything classic, you give me well, there are some classics that I know I'm never going to get my hands on, like the Aston Martins, but
too much James Bond movie.
You understand?
Yeah.
So that is what I feel. And I feel classic cars will speak to anybody who loves cars. If you park them on the street or on a parking lot, anywhere you go, whether you own Neyako, or you've got the latest Lamborghinis or whatever it is, you park a Lamborghini here, you park a classic car on the side, they're equals. That's my thinking.
Dre?
Benz or BMW?
Mercedes-Benz all the way.
But why do you always forget Audi in this conversation?
Because it's uncomparable. You can't put Audi in between Mercedes-Benz and BMW.
Audi is for people who are rich, but they don't want to be known that they are rich.
Even Jaguar is like that, though. I agree.
Okay.
It's understated, rich.
Okay.
So your 4x4.
My 4x4 would be a Land Rover Defender.
And your ultimate playlist.
Of music?
Yeah, on the road.
It's got to be anything.
Rumba.
No. Yeah, Rumba will be in there. No, Rumba will be in there. But I tell you, I have a mixed bag of mixed feelings when it comes to music. It depends on the mood. I could play classical opera.
Really?
Yeah.
You won't fall asleep? Oh dear.
Yeah.
In a classical car.
In a classical car.
You're an old soul.
Exactly.
Okay.
Do you follow Formula 1?
Yes, I do.
Who's
My
your
team is
favorite
Ferrari.
And
I love the color red, and I've always been fond with the cars. I used to buy this small
So
little...
at least we've got something in common. Ferrari.
You see, it is the team, no matter how...
And finally, the 3 things you shouldn't do in Joe's car.
Control my playlist. Don't. When you're in there, it's my zone. Don't
I think
touch
that
the
goes
music.
for everyone, though. Like, don't touch the dial.
Don't touch the dial.
So
And
flash cam.
no. No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Secondly, keep your feet off my interior.
You know, some people actually
Like
step
you
on the dashboard.
exactly. Like you're too relaxed. Don't be too relaxed. I put a mat for you. Keep your shoes or your feet on the mat.
So comfortable.
Don't go anywhere. Don't don't cross your legs
under you.
such that the other leg is on my my dashboard. No. Don't do that.
The third one?
Mostly being in the car.
We're allowed to eat,
now
drink.
you can sleep, you can drink,
Leave bottles
especially
under
if
the
I'm in my
seats.
Land Rover Defender. But I think the third one would be just don't ask me to drive my classic car every now and then. I pick you up, you say, can I take it down and no. It's my baby. It's my baby. That's me.
All right.
All right, so let's go through our WhatsApp platform. Anonymous comes. I think that Audi must now be counted in and among those cars that is BMW and Mercedes. He comes through. Ooh, so you
There
agree
you go.
with
I'm onto something there.
And see, the speed, the design, the mix could stand pound for pound, in my opinion, against BMW, especially. That's Chuck's in Vinona.
Chucks, you're definitely onto something. You know your car's there.
All right, so that's where we're gonna stop that discussion about me. I'm gonna have to stop because C might go on forever.
Yeah.
But ladies and gentlemen, it is about time for from one and only.
Dre.
Oh man, this is gonna be fun.
Joke of the week.
So, what has 4 wheels and flies?
An aeroplane?
No.
You're trying so hard not to laugh, right?
It flies. It flies.
4 wheels
And has 4 wheels. It's not an aeroplane. It's not a,
flies.
okay, I know the answer to that one. Goodness.
A firefly?
No.
Does it have 4 wheels?
I'm thinking legs could be wheels. Yeah.
A garbage truck.
Yeah, especially those cancel ones. The fly is the best. No.
A garbage truck. How could I just be? I mean, but you know what? We have to give you.